Thanks. And I've got my chat open for all of that. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm going to jump straight in. With Gremlins and now coming back for this prequel, what was it like? I mean, we're looking at 33 years apart. What was that like for you?
Well, don't forget, I also did the, and I don't know if you guys got it in the UK. Are you over in the UK?
I was for a good 30 years. I've been in Canada for the last 7.
Oh, got it. So I did a Gremlins Mountain Dew commercial in 2021. And it was very strange because the Mountain Dew commercial and the animated series, they all happened within a month of each other in 2020. So I really did go exactly like you said, in 30 years from nothing to everything. And it was kind of, it was very surprising to see sort of so much movement on the franchise so suddenly after seeing nothing for literally 3 decades. So it was, it was a wonderful surprise, both of them, and it was great fun. And, Gremlins is the type of thing that never really leaves my life. I mean, I walk down the street and people still, to my amazement and consternation, manage to recognize me and say, what's up, Billy, or something like that, So it's been very fun and gratifying to see a franchise, sort of get kind of I wouldn't say a facelift, but how about just to get some momentum behind it again.
I mean, this thing is never left us as well. I mean, I'm forever saying, don't feed my child after midnight and do not get her wet because you don't want to see the outcome. And it's just all these little jokes of that fit in with Gizmo.
Yeah, well, one of the things that's amazing about the movie is how much of it has entered sort of the cultural lexicon. Like you just gave a couple of examples, you know what I mean? The rules, anything having to do with the bright light, don't feed it after midnight, don't get it wet, all of those iconic rules, and just even the word gremlins, which really was not part of the popular lexicon. It had faded. It was part of the American kind of lexicon in the 40s and 50s after World War II, but by the late 60s, it had pretty much ended. So after the movie came out, people started talking about gremlins as, the mechanical disruptors thing, or just anything that generally caused a lot of problems. So yeah, I mean, it's you're correct. It hasn't really ever completely gone away.
And Joe Dante is a consulting producer on this. Did that help with you and with, continuity in certain elements of the Gremlins? I know that the creative team behind it is amazing, but just to have, some sort of continuity there.
Well, it's always kind of reassuring knowing that Joe is there because he has a pretty good idea about, quality control and whatnot. And I think more than that, it was just kind of, it was very nice in terms of just a respect thing towards the original franchise. I mean, anytime they bring myself back and Joe back and Steven is involved, it just makes you feel like the original franchise, there's a certain amount of respect for it as opposed to, it just being sort of discarded. So that kind of, in some of the franchises, just sort of decide to go their own way and leave the past behind. But this one did not. And if you watch the series, you see there are all sorts of little throwbacks to the movies and kind of echoes from the movies, even some gremlin characters that make little reoccurring appearances that lead you to believe that no matter how many times you spawn gremlins, you're always going to have like one of these types and one of those types. And it's kind of like there are gremlin archetypes in every spawning batch that happens. So there was a lot of cleverness and a lot of fondness. I think for us old timers, so that's always nice.
And I think we know who you are not playing, but can you tease anything about the character that you have voiced for this? I mean, it is a prequel, so we know who you
Sure.
cannot bring
Well,
in.
there's an evil industrialist played by Matthew Rhys, and basically I'm, one of his henchmen that's tasked with having to attempt to acquire, which is, I suppose, a polite word, Gizmo from his natural habitat. And so I'm basically, an assistant to the bad guy, if you had to really shorten it.
So my last question for you is, at what point were you brought into this this series? And what were your thoughts of it when you were asked? I'm assuming you were asked to come back.
Sure. The interesting thing about this is I don't actually know the answer to that question. For all I know, it's very possible that a lot of it could have been cast already, or it could have been at the beginning. I don't really know. I know that the project got announced in July 1st of 2019. And I first found of my participation, I actually just went through my emails the other day so I could have, some precision here. Very last day of February 2020. So you're looking at literally 6, 7, 8 months exactly from when it was announced to when I became a part of it. And you'd have to ask the creators how far along they were when they decided to include me. I was surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised because I kind of felt 8 months after they announced it, I'm not gonna be in this thing. It's been eight months already, but never say never.
Definitely not. Well, I can't wait for everyone to see it. I mean, it's going to be great bringing in the new generation as well to be able to see the secrets and then go back and watch it all, or watch it first and then watch the series. And so, yeah, I really can't wait. And I'm so happy that you are part of it.
Oh, thanks. I'm a small part of it, but you'll definitely see me, and it's fun. It's nothing like Billy Peltzer, and the voice is actually somewhat slightly based on my dad. But it'll be fun, and people will probably have to look at the credits to figure out what I'm doing, because a very different voice from my own voice.
Well, I can't wait for people to see it, and thank you so much for your time today.
You're very welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.